Get in the trenches with oil. Sky Oil just having such a tough time of it. It was down, almost 3% yesterday. So in general, is this a bearish sign for oil? You think it's going to recover here and a buying opportunity?
Well, we've talked about the OIHs many times in the show, and the theme right now is what type of correction or pullback will we have? And the OIHs has been a leading group. If you take a look at the chart here, the OIHs, look at where it was and look at where it's gone. Now, if you take a closer look here, you will see a head and shoulders top forming. Okay, remember the accuracy we had of the head and shoulders bottom in the S&Ps? Well, now you're seeing it here in this holder. Remember up here, the momentum trade to go to new highs, it broke this level. We got out. Well, look at the move it did lower. Now you have a lower high, okay, another tight area. Yesterday we got stopped out. Question is, will it break this neckline? And if it does, you could get a move down to 145. So this OIHs, or this group that has a lot of strength, might be indicating that oil is going to go down further, and you have to be very quick and nimble here. Some guys are short now, and if you're in some longs, I would take some gains just to take a step back and figure it out.
If you're not in it at all, you've got to wait, I guess.
Yeah, just avoid and write down the levels that could hold.
So in terms of the specific stocks, I want to go to Schlumberger, down over 2% since Friday, missed in the last quarter, but guided pretty well for the rest of the year. And the story-wise, it's a pretty fundamentally good story. So would you want to buy on a dip or just nibble a little bit here?
Well, I'm going to watch this the same way I'm watching the OIHs, and it looks very similar. It just made a lower high. It's breaking a tight pattern. So for me, that's a caution sign. Look at SOB here. Here, couldn't go to new highs, pulled back. Nice tight little channel here, breaking it. So watch to see if it breaks yesterday's low, and then I would say you have to really watch around 83.60 to see if it could hold you. But for right now, it's an avoid. This could be troublesome.
Short?
Well, quick traders will short. Some are short from yesterday because it broke that range. Now we'll figure out whether or not it opens down, doesn't fill the gap, and heads lower.
And then let's go to rigs. So Diamond Offshore had a solid quarter, but moving below those moving averages, down almost 3% since Friday. I'm going to guess it's the same kind of story then for this entire sector.
Yes, and that's why the overall ETF looks that way. So if you just want, oh, wow, this even looks worse. This is actually very good to look at, guys, because if you look here, this had a similar pattern where it was consolidating below the high, started to break. If you got out, you would have saved yourself some pain here, guys. So that's why I'm a little worried with these OIHs that they could head lower. I don't want to see you trapped in it. Let's get a better entry.
And also, I think that this whole space was really bid up into earnings, especially the integrateds, because the refining margins were going to be so good. But as we learned from the quarters, it really became all about production. How much can these guys actually deliver, not just profit margins? And what I want to point out is Whiting. We always talk about the Exxon, Chevron, Conoco, but Whiting seems to go a little bit under radar, but I've been hearing it a lot, especially from Jim Cramer. So I want to see what the chart was telling you.
Has he been bullish or bearish?
He's been interested.
Oh, interested. Okay, very good. Well, I'm going to look at it right now, and I'll tell you what I think. I think it was prudent, same way I just pointed out the other stocks. You had an ascending channel here after failing to break higher. Breaking lower, I think you got to watch his support. If this doesn't hold here around 66.32, you're going to see a move all the way down to 60. So hopefully his interest was from the short side, not the long.
I don't think Cramer's going to